Good morning. So the best thing about Sunday is the people, right? So it's so good to see you all, and it's so good to have people connecting. So good morning. On behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Catskills, I welcome you. I'm the Reverend Margret O'Neall. My pronouns are she, her, and I describe myself for visual inclusivity for any in the room or on Zoom who do not have strong visual capacity. I am a white person of Northern European ancestry. In my elder years, my hair is chin length, kind of a light brown with some silver highlights, we'll call them. And I'm wearing a black robe with my Side with Love stole and my rainbow chalice. It's my honor and privilege to serve this UU congregation of the Catskills, and I'm so very glad to be here with you. You'll hear more from me later, but now our worship associate, Vicki O'Doherty, will provide a welcome and update on all the wonderful things that are happening here.
Good morning, I'm Vicki O'Doherty, and glad to be your worship associate today. As a visual inclusivity, I am a white, older woman with grayish hair, glasses. I'm wearing black pants and a grayish top, and that's me. So we welcome you this morning, those of you here in the sanctuary as well as those joining us on Zoom. If you are here in person and new to this congregation, please ask our welcoming team member. Well, we've got a few members here. Welcoming team, we've got Mary over there, and there's Stu and Ellen over there. Okay, these are folks you could talk to, and you could talk to them about signing our visitor book and receiving our email news. Would today's welcomers please stand? Oh, you did wave and you stood. Okay, all right, good. I got the script, you know. You're joining us on Zoom, you can put your name and email address in the chat. And even better, you can visit our website, uucatskills.org, to find contact information and the latest newsletter. And you can scroll to the bottom of the homepage for the form to be added to our email news list. A reminder that people of all ages, children, young and old, are welcome here at UU Catskills. There is a space across the hall, that a ways, for anyone who would like to hear the service while being able to freely move about. After the service, please stay for in-person refreshments or for a time of connection if you're on Zoom. We don't have any announcements today, but actually, aren't you happy about that? Right. No announcements. Each Sunday we have a social action committee that share information about an event. Do we have anyone from the social action committee today? No? They're off today, okay. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We are a religion centered in love. We draw on many sources of wisdom and inspiration as we seek to understand the world, the universe, and the mystery beyond all human knowing. At UU Catskills, we seek to live our values in every part of our lives. We affirm that Black Lives Matter. We are a welcoming congregation, an affirming congregation for the LGBTQ community. We are a congregational affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, and we are an active voice in the effort to address climate change. Our sanctuary is built on the tribal land of the Lenni Lenape people, currently known as Kingston. Please take a moment to turn off your electronic devices and give yourself permission to be fully present here now. Our prelude this morning is Beauty and the Beast by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, played by Catherine Catabiani.
So we do choose the music on Sunday mornings on purpose, very much on purpose. And as Catherine said, I was thinking of Beauty and the Beast. I said, that's perfect. So everybody knows the story about Beauty and the Beast, right? Castle, big terrifying thing, pretty little person. So the story is all about looking below the surface to see who someone really is. And that's what today is about. So I invite the children to come forward for the chalice lighting. If you consider yourself a child, you're welcome to come forward. If you consider yourself a teenager, you're welcome to come forward. And as they work through our chalice lighting ritual, I invite you to join with me in saying the chalice lighting words, which are in your order of service. We light this chalice in grateful, loving community. Even in the darkest of times, may its flame light paths to courage, justice, and hope. And today our chalice is lit by a rainbow candle, honoring all of the beauty of all the ways we are human. Well done. And now our unison affirmation. The words are in your order of service. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other. I call us into worship this morning with words adapted from Sharon Wiley, wholeness. Let us speak today of wholeness. You are welcome here, all of you, every part of you beautiful, just the way you are. Here you do not need to be something more or something less. No holding back, no hiding, no exerting yourself, no trying to do more or be more. You have inherent dignity and worthiness, nothing to prove here, nothing to prove to me or to the person sitting next to you or to the children or to anyone. You don't have to try and be witty or more quiet or more outgoing. You are beautiful, every part of you beautiful just the way you are. You do not need to change anything about yourself to be welcome here. Your skin, your hair, your belly, your limbs, your face, all beautiful, just the way they are. You are extraordinary. Every one of you different from each other and beautiful in your own beautiful way. Breathtaking. Come in the spirit of love and beauty. Let us give shape here to our highest values and aspirations. Let us worship in its most ancient sense. Come, let us worship together. As we prepare to sing our opening hymn, please take a moment and think about someone you know who has something about them you don't really understand. It can be somebody you like or love, but just there's something about them you don't really understand. So it could be a family member or a neighbor or someone in the congregation. They might be from a different generation, so younger people sometimes have there are things about older folks that they don't understand and vice versa. They might have different beliefs or values, preferences in food or clothing, some difference that divides you, that sometimes makes it hard to relate. And now, so get that person in your mind, whoever they are. Might be more than one person, it's okay. And now, with that person in your mind, let us rise in body or spirit and sing together hymn number 1023, Building Bridges. And we're going to start all together, and then Catherine will help us organize into a round. Building bridges. unto me with all of our voices and all of our visions. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony, building bridges between our divisions. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to visions, will you reach out to visions? Voices such as sweet harmonies, building bridges such as sweet harmonies. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to bridges between our divisions. With all of the voices and reach out to visions. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Beautiful. Thank you. Please be seated. So I'm going to tell a story. I've got the pictures up here from the book. I'm going to read a book. And thanks. And Jane's going to hold up the book for the younger folks so they can see it. But I did the pictures so that everyone can see. This is a book, was a song originally, and then the book written by Reverend Fred Small. And so I'm going to read the words and move the pages along as we go. We've cleared off the table, the leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I've told you a story and tucked you in tight at the end of your knockabout day. As the moon sets its sails to carry you to sleep over the midnight sea, I will sing you a song no one sang to me. May it keep you good company. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one special one. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. Some children grow up strong and bold, while some are quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some take it slow. Some go in their own way and time. Some women love women, some men love men. Some leave every label behind. You can dream all day, never reaching the end of everything possible you'll find. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they will give the same back to you. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one special one. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. So ends the story. May it be so. And now we will sing the children to their classes. As you leave this friendly place, I'll give love to every face. May your kindness which you learn find your heart still. Oh, Kristen, are there any Joys and Sorrows on Zoom? No, okay. Don't write it down, I don't remember it. Let us join in a spirit of prayer. with a meditation and prayer, the Beatitudes by Sam Allen. Blessed are the gender outlaws, those born with violence on the horizon, and those who narrowly, purposefully avoid it through restricted moments, restricted movements, and lost opportunities. Blessed are those who are murdered, those who were killed, and those who were so abused that they leave this world far too early, for you have lived your truth boldly, and your life and memory are your testament, however brief and brilliant you lived on this earth. Blessed are the ones who are themselves despite danger. The price you pay for authenticity is dwarfed by the confidence of your honesty. Blessed are the flawed, meaning blessed are all of us who make mistakes, try faithfully to correct our missteps, and to be persons of integrity in this challenging world. We do our best, we miss relationships, and we build glimmering castles with our friends and other loved ones in this place where cement stacks itself upon the earth. Blessed are the allies, the understanding, those who find the best in us and others, for you will be embraced by many who will love you, for you are beloved by all of us. Blessed are the family who change, who do their best to understand and keep their perspective, but widen it to include others who have surprised you, for love is your song, and you are fully loved in turn. Blessed are the strivers, the wanters, the creatives, and all of us who just try to be good people in our communities and relationships. We shall build the future with our work today. Blessed are all, for all strive, all work, and all want of something. Blessed, blessed, blessed are all of us, for all that we call holy loves us back. May we live in love and share it with all among and beyond us. So may it be, amen, and blessed be. For all that has been spoken and all that remains unspoken among us, let us hold a brief time of silence. In our hearts we say, amen.
Each week, we take a plate collection to benefit the congregation and the community. We contribute to our wider community by sharing half of our plate donation with 8 charitable groups in Kingston and Ulster County. You can give in several ways: place cash or a check in the basket when it is passed, use the QR code in your order of service, or give electronically by going to uucatskills.org. For the love and support we share in the world, please give generously. Our offertory music this morning is Catherine's. Yeah, what we got here? Oh, LJ, you're singing, that's right. There you are. Go for it.
This congregation gladly accepts this offering for the benefit of this body and all the organizations in the community to whom we relate. Thank you for your great generosity. November 20th is recognized internationally as the Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender people are deeply at risk in this world and in this nation, with nearly double the mortality rate of non-trans people, and they're more than 2.5 more likely than cisgender people to experience violence. Since this time last year, 43 transgender and gender expansive individuals died by violence in the United States. About 80% of the victims were people of color, half were transgender women, and about 70% were killed with a gun. 1/3 of the deaths were at the hands of someone trusted, a romantic partner, a friend, or family member, and nearly half of those killed were misgendered or misnamed by authorities or the press. Today, we honor these beloved members of our human family by calling the names that they chose as their own. I will simply speak their names as we remember them in love and respect, because I believe it doesn't matter when or where they were killed, a red state or a blue, an urban center or a rural area. No matter where or when, each of these deaths diminishes us by taking that precious light from the world. And so I invite you to hold silence of reverence for this great loss as I call each name with love. Yoko, Luis Angel Diaz Castro, China Long, Sherlyn Marjorie, Anae Johnson, Dominic Dupree Palace, Savannah Ryan Williams, Megan Riley Lewis, Amber Miner, Kitty Monroe, Righteous TK Chevy Hill, Diamond Brigman, Alex Taylor Franco, Merajes Medina, Africa Parilla Garcia, T. Legend Billions Arnold, River Nevea Goddard, Andrea Doria dos Passos, Sasha Williams, Star Brown, Kira B., Reina Hernandez, Lisa Love, London Price, Lakendra Andrews, Amin Reed, Kejuan Richardson, Jean Bouchard, Brandon Tedior Thomas, Michelle Henry, Yella Robert Clark Jr., Jaslyn Johnson, Liara Tsai, Polly Likens, Shannon Boswell, Kenji Spurgeon, Monique, Dylan Gurley, Monique Brooks, Tyvion Lathan, Vanity Williams, Red, also known as Barbie, Kasim Omar. As we call their names, as we remember them, their spirits live on among us. May their presence continue strong, and may their lives and deaths remind us to stay with the struggle for human dignity and worthiness and respect for all ways of being human. Blessed be. And now, Danielle Leota will share her reflection on hearth and healing.
Good morning. I'm really happy to be here with everyone today. I'm Danielle Leota. I use she and her pronouns. Let us not rush to the language of healing before understanding the fullness of the inquiry and the depth of the wound. This is a quote by Dr. Yolanda Pierce. When I first read it, I was in a self-reflective place, and I thought about the places in myself that needed healing. Before I could do so, I could use to be guided by Dr. Pierce's words and understand the fullness of the inquiry and the depth of my own wounds that needed healing. True healing begins with understanding the hurt, where it came from, exploring whether it is connected to other interrelated wounds, and understanding the depth and complexity. True healing does not call on us to explain to ourselves how the other person didn't mean to make us feel this way, why we should get over it, why it would probably be easier to just let it go, and the multitude of ways we try to heal before understanding. Sure, we can do all those things, and often it feels better to do so. The simplicity and supposed strength it takes to work yourself through a hurt, it's appealing. It's what we are taught. This is valued. We have deeply ingrained messages about what it looks like to heal ourselves. But does this really heal? And what happens when we don't truly heal? The hurt grows deeper, wider, more powerful. As I continued gazing at this quote from my place of self-reflection, my focus shifted from my own experiences of wounds and healing processes to realizing this is also a quote about our interpersonal experiences. Moving through a healing process together when we may have caused a wound in another, a loved one, a cared about person in our life whom we never intended to hurt. How easy is it to take out the Band-Aid, give it to the other person and say, I'm sorry, all better, right? After all, we didn't actually intend to hurt the other person, so an apology should suffice. And sometimes it does, maybe on the surface, which is the only place a Band-Aid reaches. But so often, we don't truly understand what we are apologizing for. And that Band-Aid that we gave, it doesn't truly heal the deeper wounds. What would true healing between and within two people look and feel like? Imagine feeling deeply hurt by another and having the desire to move through the hurt with the other in order to understand, heal, grow, bond. Approaching them in trust and love, faith in the other that they will receive and hold your expression of your wound. They stop, they listen, they take you in wholly with no defensiveness. They receive your trust and faith in them and respond with the same trust and love in their heart. Our heart is our center. Love at the center. This is what we, you use are about. Can this be one way that we live into this value? Can we receive and explore the wound we have given another with love at the center and truly heal and move forward together? When we listen with our hearts, we will then begin to understand the fullness of the inquiry and the depth of the wound in order to begin truly healing. Imagine what this would feel like in ourselves, in our relationships, with our communities. It's risky. It takes bravery and a wide open heart. And true healing is powerful. Who would like to start?
Thank you, Danielle. Let us not rush in the language of healing before understanding the fullness of the injury and the depth of a wound. These words by womanist theologian Dr. Yolanda Pierce and Danielle's reflection provide a vital reminder of the wounds we all carry, the ways we hurt each other in spite of our best intentions, and the urgent need for us first to seek understanding before undertaking the work of repairing the relationships among us. Today, we remember and mourn the violent deaths of some of the most vulnerable among us, beloveds who are transgender, gender expansive, and non-binary, some of the least understood and most harmfully marginalized members of our human family. My hope today is to begin together a journey into deeper understanding, opening our minds and hearts to more fully honor and embrace the full range of our shared and diverse human experience. So hey, Rev Margret, you might ask, why are you inviting us to take this journey with you? And why should we accept your invitation? Well, quite simply, in the 4 short months I have been your minister, I have witnessed and been told about so many instances of hurt related to gender identity, misgendering and misnaming people who have publicly made known their chosen name and gender identity, complaints about the reminders to include our pronouns when we introduce ourselves. I've even been told that there have been harsh comments here denying the reality of transgender and non-binary identities. That is a tremendous amount of hurt within a community that claims to be centered in love. And I agree with Danielle, when we have caused a wound, it is not enough to give the wounded person a Band-Aid and tell them it's all better now. So today I will offer some basic avenues to help us all move toward acceptance of the wider dimensions of gender and begin a process that will take us more deeply into understanding, which is the first step in healing an injury. Let's begin with gender assignment, because that's where the hurt begins. Mine is a nearly universal experience. When I was born, the doctor held me up, looked between my legs, and announced for all to hear, "It's a girl!" And everybody said, "Yay!" or "Okay." That pronouncement, based on a superficial glance at the features of my physical body, instantaneously set in motion the social machinery of gender roles in the society, dictating what clothes I would be allowed to wear, what toys to play with, what educational and career paths I would be encouraged to follow, what relationships to pursue. Those 3 words, "it's a girl," my assigned gender at birth, would structure the rest of my human life. Since in my case, that assignment pretty much matched my self-understanding as I matured, I didn't feel any serious discord, and the term for that is cisgender, spelled C-I-S, gender, from the Latin prefix cis, which means on the side of, and the word gender. But what if that superficial assessment of birth was simply wrong? Biologist Rebecca Helm, who's on the science faculty of the University of North Carolina, explains that biological sex is not just X's and Y's, as we've been told, but created by a complex interaction of chromosomes, genes, and hormones in different patterns, which, quote, means you may be genetically male or female, chromosomally male or female, hormonally male, female, non-binary, with cells that may or may not hear the male, female, non-binary call, and all this leading to a body that can be male, non-binary, or female, end quote. Whatever our presenting physical characteristics, the reality of biological sex is actually defined at a cellular and biochemical level, and we simply cannot tell just by looking, which means that gender assignment at birth is not always accurate in identifying a person's biological sex in all its complexity. 2 weeks ago, knowing that I needed to understand more deeply the hurt I was witnessing among the beloved members of this congregation, I sat myself down and read the book that is this year's UUA Common Read selected for reading and discussion in all our congregations. And I have one right here. Actually, I have 10 right here. Authentic Selves, Celebrating Trans and Non-Binary People and Their Families, edited by Peggy Gillespie. My copy is actually a Kindle copy, so it's a little lighter than this. I spent several hours a day for most of a week, deeply engaged with the first-person stories in this book, and as I read, I began to understand the reality of transgender and non-binary lives, a reality which is experiential, emotional, and biological. As Dr. Pierce said, let us not rush to the language of healing before understanding the fullness of the injury and the depth of the wound. In our faith commitment to be centered always in love, the human and divine energy at the heart of this Unitarian Universalist faith, it is vital first that we seek understanding, so we may accept that the hurt of gender dysphoria is real, and that the gender assigned at birth may not match the person's biological sex at a genetic, chromosomal, hormonal level. Remember all those facts we were told about life when we were young that turned out to be just plain wrong? The things we were taught in school or in our families? I think we can add gender assignment at birth to the long list of misleading information that we were told as truth, as science and human understanding continue to evolve. As we begin to understand that gender assignment at birth is not infallible, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not, it is vital also that we understand the fullness of hurt of gender dysphoria, the deep pain when our assigned gender does not match our deeper biological sex, which trans people describe as an inner knowing. It is a wrenching experience when our true identity is not recognized or honored by our family, our friends, our beloved community. We create deep hurt when we deny a person's reality, when we say their inner knowing is mistaken and they are forced into a gender role complete with clothing and career and relationships that feels foreign to them. Earlier, we read the names of transgender people who were killed by others. Being transgender can have deadly consequences. The emotional experience of gender dysphoria can also be deadly. The research tells us that compared to cisgender adults, transgender adults are 7 times more likely to contemplate suicide, 4 times more likely to attempt it, and 8 times more likely to engage in non-suicidal self-injury. According to researcher Elon H. Meyer, who's a distinguished senior scholar of public health distinguished senior scholar of public policy at Williams Institute, quote, a lack of societal recognition and acceptance of gender identities outside of the binary of cisgender man or woman, and increasingly politically motivated attacks on transgender individuals lead to increased stigma and prejudice and related exposure to the stress of being marginalized, which contributes to the high rates of substance use and suicidality we see among transgender people, end quote. Another study reports that, quote, states that passed anti-transgender laws aimed at minors saw suicide attempts by transgender and gender nonconforming teenagers increased by as much as 72% in the following years, end quote. And we haven't heard yet what the bathroom decision in our nation's capital, what the effects of that will be, but it's one more assault on transgender identity. In a harsh world where rejection of identity threatens to become a norm, this Unitarian Universalist congregation can provide sanctuary to transgender and non-binary individuals as we deepen our understanding and clearly demonstrate that we accept, honor, and embrace their gender identity. Acceptance of a beloved's gender identity is crucial to their well-being, and we compound the hurt by misgendering and misnaming them, forgetting or refusing to use their chosen pronouns and name, since that feels like a denial of their reality, or a claim that we know their reality better than they do themselves. Names and pronouns are vital to our positive identity. Feminist writer Erica Jong in the 1970s proclaimed, quote, I love this quote, To name oneself is the first act of both the poet and the revolutionary. When we take away the right to an individual name, we symbolically take away the right to be an individual, end quote. We do harm to the inherent dignity and worthiness of the transgender and non-binary individual whom we do not use their chosen name and pronouns. So, as we grow in understanding, what actions can we take to honor the unique dignity and worthiness of our transgender and non-binary beloveds? First, we can demonstrate our understanding that gender is not superficially visible by using our own pronouns. When we introduce ourselves on our name tags and on our Zoom screens, to welcome all into the practice of declaring our gender identity. We can avoid creating hurt by paying attention and remembering to use everyone's chosen pronouns and names and asking them if we're not sure. And when we forget, we can apologize. When we've known somebody in an old identity, sometimes we slip, and the remedy for that is to sincerely apologize, correct ourselves, and commit to doing better. And to get good at this, we can practice. We can make sure everyone's correct names and pronouns are in the database and directory. We can make sure they're correct in our phones and email contact lists. I know I have a lot more learning to do to understand the reality of the transgender and non-binary beloveds in our congregation and in the wider society, and so I invite everyone to come with me on this journey into deeper understanding. A great first step is to read the book, Authentic Selves. The book is available in both electronic and print formats, and we have copies available for you today. We have 10 of them. They're for free, or whatever you would like to donate. The money will be a fundraiser for the congregation because the books have been donated. And if we run out, we can get more. I think there might be a sign-up list someplace if you want more, or you can let me know or someone else who might get the word to me. There's no better time than the present to get started. Once you've read the book, you can join one of the book discussion groups we'll be setting up after the holidays. The UUA has prepared an excellent discussion guide, and I'm looking for people willing to co-facilitate a discussion group, either in person or on Zoom. So as you read the book, if you think you'd like to help guide a discussion, let me know. And we will do some practicing as facilitators before we start leading the group discussions. I also hope to offer a couple of workshops on key concepts in understanding trans and non-binary reality, one on pronouns, another on moving beyond binary thinking. When I get these scheduled, they'll be publicized and you can register for the learning that most interests you. And starting right now, I invite us all to practice the new skills of using pronouns, working to build bridges between our divisions, reaching out to each other when our experiences with gender identity may be very different, finding connection and our shared humanity. This is our work to do as Unitarian Universalists, as love is the power that holds us together at the center of our shared values, holding ourselves and each other accountable to live our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. That is the power of our faith, of our community, and of the love that holds us close. So may it be. And now, in the spirit of love and mutual support, I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join in our closing hymn, number 1052, How Could Anyone? 53. 1053. Anyway, if you get to 1052, just go one more forward. whole. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Please be seated. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful, less than whole? Creating sanctuary in a harsh world is our work to do as a beloved community, practicing a faith centered in the power of love. It is our work to welcome and affirm all who enter here as we believe in humanity so we may practice our faith in love. And the only measure of our words and our deeds will be the love we leave behind when we're gone. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you now to join in the words for extinguishing the flame. They are printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, or the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. As we end our time together, I invite you to turn to someone near you, or reach out to someone you don't know as well as you might like, greet them, and go together to enjoy some refreshments and conversation. And so I will also say, Karen, where are you? Karen. Yay, Karen Miller. This is Karen. Karen is an abundant provider of coffee hour treats, and this is Karen's last time to serve as our coffee hour host. And so I want to just say thank you, Karen. For all you so generously do. So enjoy some refreshments, enjoy some conversation. May we go in peace and love. Amen. And blessed be. And if you're new today, find Mary or Stu or Ellen.